Alright, hey YouTube, we are live. I have my high-speed data back. I'm gonna be cautious this time around, and I'm gonna stop at 1 gig left. I think I could get away with half a gig left, just for the when I'm out and about having to look some, or, I want to pull up a video and stuff, which that doesn't eat up data, so that's good there. I can do plenty of that still. But especially when I'm looking up stuff during the rest of the month, I think if I have half a gig left, might be good enough. But I'm gonna start with a gig, play it safe, so that I know exactly how much I need left in a month when I'm use that up for however much, and it will vary. Probably do more streaming some months early on and have less for later on in the month. It goes up and down, and it depends. But start a gig, then we'll work our way to half a gig and see what is left with that. Oh, I remembered to put my earbuds in so I have good microphone close to my mouth. But yeah, thinking that should be good enough for like searching, and when that point hits, it's no more streaming. You just call it done. That's the end. And then next month when it comes on. And the other thing too that will help is if I do that and I have some left over, it will carry over to the next month a bit. So next month potentially I get a little bit more. Not much. I mean, like, let's say if I leave a gig this month, let's say I have maybe half a gig left, then I've got another half gig for next month. So, and that means if I only need half a gig left, then I'm essentially getting like an extra gig, because I got 6 gigs plus half a gig. I only need half a gig for the rest of the month. Well, there you go. It's what carried over from last month. So there's something to think about, and it could be, but it could, with that system, if it goes that way, it would deplete itself, and that's half a gig with a little bit of cushion. Like, that's expecting that I don't use all of my data and get throttling, because we want to try and avoid that. So yeah, clean channels list update. That is, I haven't done anything with the clean channels list in a very, very long time. And with the way the whole world's trending and everything, it's kind of hard to keep that list 100% clean and maintain it the way that I was doing. I was talking like serious filter, just 100%. Pretty much just me spend all my time watching YouTube content and giving it rating, and I don't want to do that, and I'm not manpower to do that. And I think what would be really cool is if we had better filters on YouTube. We talked about this in a previous video. YouTube does have a safe mode, but safe mode filters out way too much. Like, a large chunk of my videos have been filtered, and I'm not dirty at all. YouTube does have a way to submit videos for review, and so I submitted one of my videos, and then down in the notes I said, you can actually pretty much just watch my whole entire channel and not find anything. So you wanna, just lift my whole channel? Which, if they can add like a whole channel check kind of a thing, I think that would be really nice too. Because the sheer number of videos that I don't even know how many have been affected with this filter, but a lot of them, I would say probably half of my videos have been affected by the safe mode filter, and it's not great. But I do think we need better filtering on YouTube. Think of something like VidAngel. However, VidAngel, they're going through and watching the content and, adding in the filters with humans. But they're nice because there's no taking one for the team, as they say. They wouldn't make someone who only watches Disney and Pixar movies watch The Wolf of Wall Street. So, yeah, something like that would be nice. Having more granular control about what's being filtered could be good too, because it's gonna filter it for various reasons. So, maybe I go in and I say, hey, I want you to filter language, but don't filter violence or anything like that, and just different stuff like that. More granular control of the filter versus just the current on and off. And maybe I've talked in the past about adding a system where you can bleep out stuff and having it be like a user created system. And I've covered this in a whole nother video. So filters would be really nice. They're not practical. So what's going to happen with the clean channels list? I'm trending it towards more of a I'm your friend who either has the same standards as you or respects your standards, and I'm suggesting you some YouTube stuff to watch. I'm going to trend it towards more of that direction. I'm still going to do some specifying and stuff like that. I still am going to say, hey, these channels, they're not 100% clean. But, yeah. I don't know exactly what's going to happen to it, if I'm going to keep the list format on there or not. But, I don't know. There's also the recommended channels on YouTube. I might use that too. But I can't necessarily get granular with that and say which are super clean and which aren't. So I don't know, if you guys want a list of channels that I really recommend that are clean, and then also I'll have a list of some that are educational or very entertaining and kind of, I feel, worth pushing through the little bit of inappropriateness, which depends, then I'll do that, yeah. If it's educational and I can't really find that specific content somewhere else in video format, yeah, sure. A little bit of language I kind of push through. Slow-mo guys is an example. They have a lot of cool stuff. They use a little bit of language here and there, but also their language is more of, oh, wow, that's really cool. Let's see that again. As opposed to saying it just because. Or in video games, there's only really I do watch Captain Sparkles here and there play some video games and stuff. Mostly for him, I'm watching Reddit reactions, but I do watch him play some Minecraft here and there. And he uses a little bit of language, especially when he messes up and things go wrong. But for the most part, I avoid that. That's a case where you could very well just sort of avoid having anything inappropriate in that sort of spectrum. There are plenty of gamers, myself included, that don't use language. I mean, granted, I'm not playing the same games that they are, but you guys get the idea. Well, Minecraft, yeah, I play Minecraft. What else? So, yeah, that's kind of going to trend more towards, I don't know. It's going to be different. It's definitely going to be not as strict. I was, super strict. Man, I gotta check every single video. Have people let me know, I maybe this guy I find has 10 videos. I watch them all. Not really my style, but they're clean. I add them to the list. And then, a year or so later when he's gotten a lot more subscribers and whatnot, and then all of a sudden he adds an inappropriate joke, and then I have to modify his standing, and that's just too much work for one person. For me, I would need a team of people keeping up on that. Fortunately, a lot of the channels that I do watch built a very big reputation, and they're not really going to do that. Techmoan is an example. He's a cool channel. He looks at a lot of retro technology and things, specifically in the audio and video department. And it's cool. I like Techmoan a lot. And he's got funny skits every once in a while. And I've never ever seen him do anything that was inappropriate. And he just kind of built up that reputation. I don't think he would ever go sour. In fact, I'm positive he wouldn't. If he did, there would probably be a large uproar from his fan base about, why did you do something inappropriate? Well, Now that I think about it, there was one time once where he was singing a song, but that one's easy to let slide, because, yeah, it was a popular song at the time, and he was demoing a karaoke feature, and it's one of those that you kind of have to know a little bit to understand what it's talking about. I'm not going to say which one it was, but that's like very, very mild, almost not inappropriate. It's one of those you kind of have to be paying attention to it. It's not completely in context, but he's really, really clean. And so a lot of good channels that I watch have kind of set up sort of this reputation. Some of them have it happen every once in a while. It's like they kind of sort of try. It's like they don't do inappropriate things unless, they kind of sort of just happen to come their way. Like, oh, here's an interesting old computer game that looks kind of fun to cover. And, oh, it's a little bit inappropriate, who cares? Kind of like that. But most of the stuff that they're looking at isn't. LGR is the one I'm thinking of right now. I don't want to make anybody feel bad about this, but like I said in a previous video, I think most people would be able to recognize and say, okay, yeah, I can see from certain religious standards and viewpoints that some of the stuff I do is inappropriate on their terms and stuff like that. I don't think it's inappropriate personally, but I will agree that from the religious terms, it is. Even though I think it's kind of stupid but yeah. Most people, I think, would be able to see that and be like, oh yeah, so, I don't know. Completely dried up. We're getting into winter. Now it makes me wonder where the ducks have gone. Because there are usually ducks up there. And on the other side too. So yeah. What else do I want to cover here? Stuff that's kind of coming up. I mean, I need to record something, and then I've got a little clock video out this month. It is actually the first episode of Clock Flipping. I don't know how many episodes this will have and what I'll do with this, but it's basically a show where I go around and look for clocks to resell online. You guys will get more info when the episode comes out. I will say, though, that it is going to be... Right now, it's a 2-part episode. There's a small chance it'll be a 3-part episode, but the second part is going to go up on the channel when I'm gone on my mission. I was just reminded because the house that I just walked past back there, usually there's a dog outside barking and stuff like that. And I saw something on Reddit last night that basically said it was someone who had a little sign with dog treats outside of their front gate, and there was a dog outside. It seemed relatively friendly, and the sign said, "I'm trying to teach my dog that strangers aren't enemies. If you see him outside, please give him a treat." And I'm like, that's actually really cool. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we got that coming out. Oh, maybe this is the house. Yeah. You see, I mentioned this in a previous video too, but it is really hard to tell if that is, hey, there's somebody here, hey, owner, human, there's somebody here, or if it's, you're on my property and I'm gonna rip you to shreds. That one does look a little more aggressive, like I want to rip you to shreds, just a little bit, not a lot. There's not a lot of growling, it's mostly just barking, so they seem, I would put them at a 5, 10 being the friendliest, 1 being the absolute meanest. They would come in at like a 5. I don't know them personally. I'm not going to try and get to know them, obviously, but, that was, I don't know. That's the house I was thinking of, actually. So, tomorrow I'm going to be hopefully tomorrow I'll get some time to test Odyssey 2 games, as well as I'll be able to do them next week too if I don't get to them this week. But I do kind of want to get them tested. But also tomorrow, hold on. Oh, someone left a soda can in the bush. Great. Yeah, so, but I will be able to test tomorrow if the Alpha Neutrino has done its job yet, or if it needs more time. Because it's been about 2 days, which for the stuff that I've done, like my clothes and stuff, is average. And I sent an email to Cody's lab about that. I've also sent, here we go. I also left a comment on his recent video. So I'm really hoping that he sees it and at least says something. But, yeah, hopefully you guys will eventually see the little Minecraft series that I started. I'll be doing more of that over time. It'll be a little thing that I can do live here and there. And I think I'm going to try and do that. One of the things, though, makes that tricky. Sometimes I don't really feel like going live. I just want to hop on and relax. And I've realized that part of that is because, oh, what's the word? Yeah, part of that's because I have to get out my not my camera. Well, yeah, I have to plug the webcam in, make sure it's at the right angle. There's a little bit of setup involved. And especially if I don't have a lot of time or I don't want to spend a lot of time, just hopping on and playing is easier. So I've done that with Survive.io lately. I've played, and if it was more permanently set up, you know, it would be quicker, easier to, what's the word? It would be quicker, easier to just hop on. I would do it more readily, but as it is, you know, I have to take the recorder out of its case, remove the plug from the top, remove the plug from the microphone attachment, plug that in, screw it down to the tripod, get the height right, plug it into the computer, pick the right mode, set software. So it takes a couple of minutes to set up, you know, but I think I'm going to try to be more willing to do that more often. This is also a thing where especially with the way that I have things set up now, I don't just want to leave it out. Like if I had a bigger space and it was easier to put it on my desk and have it there and a really secure tripod type thing, I might be more willing to set it up and do that and kind of leave it there and just take it down there when I need it to. As it is, I'm putting it back in my case after each use because I want to keep it nice and protected and safe. So yeah, there's going to be, I don't know, definitely more of that Minecraft series. Like I mentioned in the first episode, which was live, I'm going to, eventually at some point, I'll come back and play Skygrid fresh from the start with nothing started. I got a subscriber out of it, actually, which is really cool. And that, for me, says do a little more of that. I think especially at this time where Minecraft is maybe sort of, it's definitely dropped down in popularity. People still play it, but the number of people actually watching it has dropped down. The number of people making content has dropped down. So I think maybe a fresh new voice in the Minecraft area would be a good thing for this channel. Not the big, huge thing, but a thing. Because there's a lot of different stuff I do, and I want to do like short films and other things too. And it is clock month right now, so I'm supposed to do a clock video. I would like to do 2, because the video I'm working on right now was filmed outside of clock month, and so now that it is clock month, I kind of want to do a clock cleaning video, but do I have time to edit it? And there's a lot of stuff going on. Anyways, I'm going to cut this stream here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, inputs, and opinions. Stuff that you guys want to see more of. Like, seriously. I don't actively check the numbers. I'm not super great at that. But that is something that I try and do, is check numbers and see like what exactly is a little more popular. Especially when I upload some recent videos, I go back temporarily just for a quick moment and I look at the numbers and I say, oh, that one got 100 views. So that's a really good thing. Anyways, yes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever's next. No, wait, I need to say I haven't acted on the, oh, that got lots of views yet. But I do plan to, and it's something that I kind of keep up here. So, see you guys later.